Growing up, my parents always told me that I just run around with a baseball in my hand. Baseball, it's been pretty much my entire life. Growing up, we had season tickets to the Giants, so we used to go there all the time. Every weekend, tournament baseball, Little League. I was in attendance to see Barry Bonds break the 756 record. I feel like that pretty much told me what I wanted to be when I grow up. I'm 5'9". I've tried to put on some weight. I sit around 180, 190. When I was in JUCO, we had some physical specimens out there, 6'3", pushing 225, and I was just the small guy. There was many moments where I realized that size does play a big factor in recruiting. You know, you'd have these big weekends at a prospect camp, and you wouldn't really get anything out of it because, you know, you're the undersized, not very fast, don't really have the tools to show for it. So I mean, being an undersized athlete, I think the biggest thing I told myself was to prove everyone wrong. Whether that's in the weight room, putting up bigger numbers than anyone else, staying later, coming in earlier. I mean, effort, I take effort over anything else. There's some things that scouts can't measure, like the intangibles, like whether a guy works harder than others, how his character is on, off the field, his work ethic. Guys who are smaller, I mean, you're not as physical as some of these bigger guys, which they don't take into account like how hard of a worker you are and what else you bring to the table. Your work ethic does not go unnoticed. You might feel day to day that you're not seen for what you really are. You're kind of just overlooked. It just comes down to your production, how hard you work, how bad do you want it. Size isn't gonna go over production. When I was at my JUCO, I had a really tough fall that put me pretty deep into our roster. I did not get to play in front of my family, my friends, coaches, and it hurt a lot. The big thing for me was not pouting about it. I felt like it got me ready for the next level. I got my opportunity a few weeks later, and I just ran with it. Everyone makes fun of me because I'm Mr. Gym Rat or whatever, but I love it. I mean, it's one of those things that you can control, unlike height, weight. Going to a gym, it's you against those weights. I mean, you're going there for an hour, 2 hours a day, then going home, eating, and then just keep doing it again and again. I feel like you get into that routine where it almost becomes part of your life, and you start taking it serious in there, like you're gonna see numbers start jumping on the field. I feel like it's been very instrumental to the success that I have, staying in shape and kind of putting yourself above everyone else. You only get to play for so long. You know, 3 years down the line, 2 years down the line, you never really know when it's gonna end. You could play for another 10, 15 if you're lucky. Marcus Stroman always talks about heart over height. Your heart is gonna rely more on how much you want it than your physical attributes at the end of the day. There's little guys in every sport, and they always have the most heart out of anyone out there.